These are 7 tips for your next OTB chess tournament. It doesn't matter if you play already many of them or if you want to play your first one. This is everything I've learned after many years of making the same mistakes over and over again. Number 1, chess openings. How are we going to start our game? How are we going to develop our pieces? How many moves should we memorize? Well, if you're like me, you might also be obsessed about trying to memorize as much as possible. Because I realized that I felt much more confident at the board. If I know my moves and I'm blitzing them out, I'm very fast while my opponent is maybe thinking and is unsure, I feel like, I know the best move here while you're thinking. So it gives confidence to start the game in your comfort zone. But there is a problem. I've realized that many of my losses are not coming from bad opening preparation, and that usually the preparation is not really impacting the results. Because all the game I lose are coming from tactical mistakes. I blunder a tactic, or I make a strategical bad move, or I don't know what to do after the opening. This is one of my biggest problems, that I memorize some moves and then after the opening I say, okay, what's the plan actually here? That's why my best suggestion for you is to keep your opening repertoire as simple as possible. Memorize as few as possible and rather try to understand your opening moves, because in every single opening, there are always the same principles. You want to control the center, to develop your pieces as quickly as possible, and to bring your king to security. In general, those guidelines can help you so much, even if you don't know anything about what would be the best move according to the engine. So I would say focus on making good moves rather than perfect book moves. Number 2, if we shouldn't obsess about the opening, what should we do to be ready for our next tournament? And guys, there is a tournament where I scored 5 out of 5, and it was the Italian Team Championship in 2017. I scored 5 out of 5 against players of similar strength, which is a quite nice result, you know? What did I do before this tournament? Well, actually, before this tournament, I had a very special preparation. I was every day going down in the basement without the internet, without phone, but just with a chess book. Which chess book? A tactic chess book, just full of exercises. And for 1 hour every day at the same time after lunch, I was taking my chess break and solving 1 hour of tactical exercise. Man, after that month of solving, I felt like Super Saiyan. I was like my mind was, incredible. I was able to see tactics at a much higher speed. And hey, the result of the tournament was couldn't be better, okay? 5 out of 5. So my suggestion for you is, at least 2 weeks, 1 month would be even better. Start to stop all the other activities, everything else, and just do tactics. Because this is what actually will matter the most for your tournament. Number 3, train your vision on a real chessboard. If you're like me, you might play lots of chess online. I've been spending the last 4 years playing chess just exclusively online. I have played 2 tournaments. A classical chess tournament in London in 2022 and a blitz tournament in Biel last year. And there is one thing that I've noticed in both tournaments. Once I sat at the board for the first time, I felt, oh man, that's a different vision. Because I have a very tiny chessboard on stream, and I just look straight and I have the entire board under control. Instead, if you see a chessboard, it's quite big, and it's so much easier to blunder something. So tip number 3 is to train from a real chessboard. Now, I have a privilege because I'm sponsored by Millennium, and I got these amazing boards where I can play actually a chess game online, but I make my moves on a real chessboard, and the moves of my opponent are showed by LED lights. I connect this board via Bluetooth to my phone, and I start a game, but I make my moves on a real board. If you also want to get this board, I will leave you the link in the description. In any case, try to at least make your puzzles, especially the hardest one, when you have to calculate a few moves, on a real board. It will be so beneficial for the day you play your first tournament. Now that we did a perfect pre-tournament preparation, what should we do when we are at the tournament? Well, first thing, if you're playing a classical tournament, it means that you will play just one game per day, usually. 1 or 2 games per day. It means that you usually have time to prepare for your game, because you know the pairings a few hours or even the night before the next game. And how should you prepare, and especially how much should you prepare? For preparation, I mean that you check the games of your opponent, you see what openings they play, and you review your openings accordingly, or you even try to surprise them with a new opening. My best recommendation is to play the openings that you know the best. Don't try to be fancy and to surprise with a new opening if you have never played it. Play what you know best. And then a very important tip, guys. For the last 4 years, chess has been played a lot online. So before the pandemic, before COVID, the traditional way to prepare for an opponent was to go on a chess database with all the classical games, to search for the name of your opponent and to find their classical games. Well, if you go search my games, you find 0. But I've been playing thousands of games offline. So if you want to prepare against me, you should definitely go to check my online games. And the best way to do it is opening3.com. You can just write the nickname of the person that is of your opponent, and you get a tree of all their openings, so you can prepare accordingly. What if you don't know what's their nickname? Well, there are some techniques that you could use to get it. When I was playing in 2022 a closed tournament in London, I found the nicknames of my opponents. Actually, one of my viewers found it hacking the system. Basically, try to search your opponent on Instagram and look what is their username there. And then try to search for their username on both Lichess and chess.com. And most of the time, you find something. And I found nearly all my opponents like this, and I got some nice insights of their games. But in general, the most important thing is like try to find their online games. On the other side, try to hide your online games. Try to have a profile where you train, the nicknames is not so obvious. You shouldn't be called Alessia Santeramo. Yeah, it's a bit too easy to prepare against you. Tip number 2. What to eat during a chess game. I've been eating lots of chocolate because I'm obsessed by chocolate. I love chocolate, but I realized that it's not too good. In general, there are some things that are not good during a chess game because you have to make sure that your brain stays stable, gets the same energy intake over a long period of time. The chess games are lasting between 3 to 5, 6 hours, so you have to take care of it. So, I'm sorry for this, but no chocolate, no things with added sugars, no Coca-Cola, no energy drinks, all the things that have sugar, banned. A very simple things that I was eating, as a fruit, the banana is one of the best one. I don't know why exactly, I don't know actually the process and the reason, but I know that it makes sure that you don't get an energy spike and then it goes back, but you can absorb the nutrition, whatever, over time. And then nuts are really good for the brain in general, especially walnuts. So yeah. Nuts and banana. I know that is suspicious, but that's what you should eat. And wait, a bonus about this eating section. Actually, like, eating should not be the only part that is very important. because there is one that is actually much more important, and is sleep. When you are at a tournament, sleep at least 9 hours per day. I swear, you will be 10 years younger. And if you're 10 years old, you will still feel better. So, sleep 9 hours per day at a chess tournament. You thank me later. Last thing, and you will really hate me for this, is coffee. Coffee is allowed, but just morning and early afternoon. Don't drink a coffee in the evening. I don't care that you say, no, it doesn't affect my sleep. It does. Yes, it does. Even if you don't notice, but it does. I promise you. I've read an entire book about why we sleep that was explaining all the process behind. You are not a wonder of nature. It affects your sleep as well. So coffee just morning and early afternoon, not after this time. Okay? Thank you. I will now be a bit more kind and give you the 6th tip, and is about game analysis. How much time should you invest in analyzing your games? In general, you need to maintain energy during a tournament. In a classical tournament, you play for lots of hours every day and over a long period, usually 7 to 9 days. So spending too much time to analyze your games is not a smart idea. You should do a game analysis though, but it has to be very quick and precise. The thing that you have to check is, have you done a mistake in the opening that you want to correct in case the same opening happens again during the same tournament? In that case, you surely want to see, oh, here I played the wrong move. What is the best move and why? And how do I develop all my pieces in this opening? Once you found out this, that's over. You actually don't need to do other things. But you might want to, because once you play a chess games, you might have lots of curiosity about the game. And it's fine to shortly check out, okay, actually, what was the best move here? Aha, I did that mistake. But then, guys, the earlier you move on, the better it is. Fix the opening, check all your curiosity, but then move on. But wait, this is very important. Every time you play in a chess tournament, if you don't analyze the games after the tournament, you are like losing so much potential of improvement. So every time you say, I'm going to play this tournament, you put in the calendar the dates of this tournament. You plan to play this tournament. Plan also at least 2 hours after the tournament that you analyze the games. Because if you don't plan them, you don't do them. I don't know why I know that, because I've done it many times. So please don't repeat my mistakes. Last but not least, mindset. This is something that I've been suffering over time a lot, because especially when I was very little, for me, chess was like proving that I was smart and good enough. I was a very perfectionist kid, meaning that I had to please my parents and to make them proud of me, make them feel proud of me. But there was a problem, because chess became also very toxic. And chess has been toxic actually for a long time, but there were just lots of other good things, like friends, possibility to travel, new opportunities. So I kept playing chess even if I was suffering a lot from lots of pressure during the games. When I was actually young at my first world championship, I was asking so many draws without playing off the game because I was so scared of losing. For me, losing was a failure. Failure was a big shame. And yeah, I know that it's not an healthy way of looking, but unfortunately, our society measures us a lot by our achievement, and chess is one of the things where your results matters. So yeah, anyway, I've had this very bad mindset, and it's such a pity if you also have it, because I've been able to change it thanks to streaming, thanks to the fact that the pressure of results became the pressure of making good content. So it doesn't matter anymore the result as soon as I do good content. I just move the pressure to another thing. But the good part, it is this that now I'm enjoying chess so much. For me, chess is fun. I love playing games, and yeah, I lose. Okay, let's see what I can do better next time. So if you play chess, if chess is your hobby, and for many of you, chess will be your hobby, try to see it in the right way. For example, one very nice thing of playing a chess tournament OTB is that once you are there, your phone is gone. You have to, you cannot have your phone in the playing hall, and if you can have it, it has to be switched off without the internet, without any notification from outside. So for me, playing a chess game is like entering my bubble, get a bit of detox from all the outside world, and can be so calming, but also so I really like it, okay? If you also enjoy this feeling, chess can be so much fun for you. And one thing about the results, try not to identify with them. You are not your rating, you're not your chess strength. You are rather the joy and the fun that you have while playing this game. So try to see every game like an opportunity to learn, because then it can always be fun even if things goes badly. Of course, if you win a tournament, it's a bit better than losing it, but try not to have extreme peak of emotions that are depending on your results, because we will all lose lots of games, even Magnus Carlsen loses. So if we want to play while also having an healthy attitude, let's try to do this. That was it. I hope you enjoyed this. If yes, let me know in the comments what other tips and suggestions you might have. I'm sure I didn't include everything, and there is always more to learn. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao!